Howdy, marketing fans, and welcome back. In this lecture, I want to show you how to import goals into AdWords to use them as conversions, and also how to view which conversions you've imported from analytics. Here we are in the campaigns menu of our AdWords account. To get into the conversions section, where you're going to see a lot of different information about conversions and goals, you want to go to Tools and then click on Conversions. The first thing we see is a list of our conversion actions. We have the name of our conversion action over here. We see the source of the conversion action, which is important because as you continue to add a lot of goals and add a lot of different conversion actions, it might get confusing which ones are being tracked through the AdWords tag and which ones have been imported in from Google Analytics. So in the source column, you'll typically see 3 or 4 different types of sources. Anything that says website means it's being tracked from an AdWords tag. I know it's not the best way to name it, but that's Google's default way of naming any conversions that's being tracked from the AdWords conversion tag that's directly embedded onto your site, either directly through a plugin or through Google Tag Manager. If it's coming from the AdWords tag, it's going to be considered, the source is going to be considered website. When you see the source is analytics, like it is over here for this form submission, that means very simply that it's a goal being imported from Google Analytics and we're now using it as a conversion action inside of AdWords. You'll also sometimes see calls from ads and calls from website. Calls from ads typically refer to calls that were made from ad extensions on your ads or from a call-only campaign. And calls from website usually refer to dynamic number insertion, dynamically generated phone numbers on your actual website itself. We could also see the category of any given conversion, which is something that you pre-select. That's something that you could customize and modify. We see its tracking status, the conversion window, and we could see obviously how many conversions, the conversion value, and a bunch of different metrics that we're not going to go into too much detail here. But now let's say you wanted to import some of your goals from Google Analytics and pretend that you haven't done that yet. Let's go into Google Analytics and import a goal that we have not previously imported up until now. So I'm going to navigate to my admin section, and instead of going to audiences in the property menu, we're going to go to goals in the view menu. Go over to goals, and I see this one goal here called new student, and I want to import that into my AdWords account. So I know that my AdWords account and my analytics accounts are linked, so I'm all set up to do that. I jump back into AdWords, and in the left-hand menu over here, we go down and select Google Analytics. This is going to show us all the Google Analytic goals that have not been previously imported into our AdWords account. And here we are, we find new student. We're going to see goals associated with any number of properties that are linked to this AdWords account. So that's something to keep in mind. For example, if you have a number of different properties, you might be tracking subdomains, you might be tracking a resource library which is hosted on a subdomain, you might be tracking an external blog, and those different analytics properties that are under that one parent Google Analytics account could be all linked to your Google AdWords account, to this one Google AdWords account. So we have a new student and we simply click import. I have a number of settings that I can configure. I could choose my category. So this is going to be a purchase or a sale, and you're going to select whatever that goal conversion is categorized for your business, and we could select a value. So let's say I want to assign a static value. I click each time it happens, the conversion action has the same value. I select my currency and I'll label it as, let's say, $90 for the average conversion value of that specific goal that I just imported. I choose my conversion window, which means how long from the first click on an ad will a user be able to come back, convert, trigger that goal, and it will still be attributed back to that original ad click. So the typical default is 30 days. You could change it, make it custom, and make a number that suits the conversion window for your business and for this specific goal. We're going to leave count as every conversion. We're going to leave including conversions column as yes. We're not going to get into much detail now. And we're going to leave the attribution model as use last click, which is the standard attribution model that most of you are going to want to use. But either way, we're not getting into the details of attribution modeling here in this course. Go ahead and click import goals, and we're done. You click close, and now we see that the new student goal has been imported as we see right here. Remember, once you import a goal, it's going to start counting those conversions in AdWords. So for example, if I already had an AdWords conversion tag, which I do, that's tracking this new student goal, then this is not something that this is not a goal that I want to import from Google Analytics into AdWords because I'll be getting duplicate conversions. That's that concept we spoke about in the previous lecture. And I don't have any good reason to be duplicating conversions where I'm showing 2 conversions per user. Yes, you could segment out your data by conversion name and you could see that they are not true duplicates, but there's no real point in importing a goal if you're already tracking that goal in AdWords. It's just a situation that's going to lead to confusion for you and your clients. Now that you understand a little bit about importing goals from analytics into AdWords, we can now go ahead and dive a little further into the more important or more essential remarketing aspect of Google AdWords and Google Analytics working together, which is taking a look at audiences, how Google Analytics audiences are brought into AdWords, where to see those audiences, where to look at the information contained and the attributes of those audiences inside AdWords. And we're also going to talk about using the actual Google AdWords audience builder to create your remarketing audiences from scratch inside AdWords without using all the complicated aspects of the Google Analytics audience builder that we've been working on up until now. So thanks very much, guys, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon in a few seconds.